In this video, we are comparing two of some very popular Bluetooth speakers to see which one truly is better. You see, one of the key highlight features of the UE Boom is the range. As it's advertised to be able to get a range up to 145 feet of range, thanks to the latest Bluetooth 5.1. Well, what I have right here is an Android phone, a drone. I'm gonna duct tape the phone on the drone, fly it above 145 feet, and see if that really is true, while it continues playing audio through the Bluetooth speakers. And as soon as the audio cuts out, we'll determine from there if this really is true. And we'll also perform the same test with the Beats as well, the latest Beats pills against the UE Boom 4. All right, here's the phone, duct tape on the drone, and let's go ahead and take off. That's 100 feet. So far, it's starting to lose connection at 160 feet. You could kind of hear it. And we lost connection at 200 feet. That's actually not bad. Wait. We still got reception, but it's not good. So in a perfect world, it looks like we could easily get past 145 feet. 145 is pretty accurate. That's quite impressive. Let's go ahead and test out the Beats now. All right, here we go. Got the Beats hooked up to the Android. Let's take off. Still connected. 31 feet. 70 feet. So we're at 111 feet with the Beats. Let's incline. We are well above the UE Boom's level. We're 200 feet and still connected. This is unreal. We're just now losing connection at around 400. I reached my max altitude that I could legally fly here, but we're starting to lose connection at 367 feet. So it's safe to say that the UE Boom doesn't come close in terms of the Beats range. It's actually quite impressive, literally double. Bluetooth 5.3 definitely does make a difference. I don't know why Beats isn't advertising this. So now we're back in the lab, and let's take a quick overview of the Beats pills as well as the UE Boom 4. So shape-wise, they're both like a water bottle size capsule, which works perfectly fine because I'm able to find these things fitting inside my cup holders on backpacks, cup holders in cars. Wherever a water bottle can fit, these two have no issue. So it's super easy to take with you on travels, hikes and such. And the Beats do include these like this lanyard, which is easy to remove if you don't like it. The UE Boom has like this little loop right here, which you could attach like a rope, a carabiner, or something like that to like attach it to a backpack or so. Both are extremely well compact. Now there is a Mega Boom version for the UE Boom 4, which is twice the size of this, but in my opinion, I think this is the ideal size for everyday scenario. Now let's talk about controllers. So on top of the UE Boom, hopefully the camera could pick this up, there's two buttons, and if you're wondering about the marks and scratches, we just got done filming the durability test. Stick around or feel free to skip ahead if you want to know why these two are all dented up and beat up. But this button right here, long holding this, will be your pair button. The center one is your media control, so pause and play, single tap, pause and play, double tap, skip next track, triple tap, go back to your previous track, you know. And then this button over here is your on and off button. And what looks like a cross is your volume up and volume down versus the Beats. Since this is technically an Apple speaker, it's kind of confusing to use. Because right now it is on, but to turn this off, you may think just long hold and it'll turn off the Beats. No, you have to hold for 3 seconds, and that's how you properly turn this off. Because if you long hold to turn it off, it's gonna put the device in pairing mode. But to turn back on, you just hold until it turns on. There we go. Well, actually I did let go like around 5 seconds. And then over here is your volume up and volume down. Self-explanatory. Center button, your media button. Just like I explained earlier, single tap, pause and play, double tap, triple tap, same exact thing. Just however, for the Beats, a double tap here will toggle your virtual voice assistant of whatever device is connected to. So you can use Android or Siri to use...
I don't understand.
Yeah, the virtual voice assistant. Then when it comes to battery life, The UE Boom can last up to 15 hours under a single charge. And I had this for about over 2 weeks now, and I can confidently confirm that, yeah, 15 hours definitely does hit the advertised mark on a daily basis, which is more than enough for a good party, I guess. But it doesn't come close to the Beats. The Beats, these can actually last a full 24 hours, and I rarely have to ever charge these, so these definitely can last much longer than the UE Boom, unfortunately. But thanks to this large battery, a unique feature that it has is its USB-C port back here can plug into any device. We're just going to use a smartphone in this video example, my iPhone 15 Pro, and notice it's charging it because yes, you can use this as a battery bank. This does not have that ability, but it has something unique too. I'll show you in a bit. And if you triple tap the power button, you can reverse power. So you can override it so it takes power away from the other device and charge the Beats. I like that override ability. This is super useful and beneficial to do if you're charging your Beats, like using a laptop as an example. You don't want your laptop to take power away from the Beats. You want the Beats to use power from the laptop to charge the speaker. That's how I can see somebody benefiting from this. And the speaker does support lossless audio. The UE Boom does not. Another amazing ability about the Beats is if you have the latest generation Beats pills, by long holding the center button, this will turn the LED light blue, and you long hold the same device in the center until its LED light turns blue, and you can pair these two into amplify mode. And if you like to switch from amplify mode to true stereo mode, just long hold the center button and the plus button on one speaker, and that'll be the dedicated right, and you can switch from amplify mode to stereo mode. Now, since this is technically an Apple product, this works extremely well on an Android device like my Android phone I have right here, because you can actually pair these to an Android device by one touch, just like this. As you see, I could quickly just tap connect and set up just like that, and it will actually request you to download the Beats app. So in the Beats app here, you can monitor the battery life percentage, rename these, adjust the control settings because you can pick up phone calls on these. You could do the same thing with the UE Boom. Volume tone if you want them to sound extremely loud, and you see your other information. And then as for Apple products, since this is an Apple product, you can always just use AirPlay, and you can select the Beats from here. It even shows a little Beats icon as well. And just like every Apple product, you can see in your control center, adjust the audio, it shows the Beats icon. But in the settings, it has its own dedicated tab right here. Let me go back and show you. See, oops, not that. Right there, pills. And here you can rename, basically do the exact same thing what I showed you earlier. But get this, this is integrated with Apple Find My and is compatible also on the Android side as well. So if Android users, you're not left out with this feature. So if your homeboy decides it's a good idea to just borrow, quote unquote, borrow your Bluetooth speaker, you could track them with the Find My app, just like very similar to like an AirTag. The UE Boom unfortunately does not offer this. But one thing that the UE Boom does have is a third-party app. And I showed you how you could pair the two together on the Beats. The UE Boom requires you to use the app and select this tab. And here, just select the nearby speaker. It detects that's also a UE Boom product. And just like that, these two are going to connect into party up mode. And you can pair up to 50 UE Boom speakers. You heard me, 50, and they do not have to be the latest UE Boom 4s. It could be the older models or other speakers. So long as they're the UE Boom brand, you could pair up to a total of 50, and you could utilize dual mode or stereo mode like I was showing you earlier with the Beats. So you have it balanced just like a car, or prefer right or left. It works really well. And then in this page, you may see this megaphone option because by selecting this, you have access to a megaphone. So this is great for like party announcements and stuff like that. You just want to get everybody's attention when you guys are jamming. So you can just select megaphone and it will utilize the microphone that's paired to the main iPhone or the phone in preference. So you can actually announce your announcement to the party if you want to get everybody's attention at once. The Beats does not have this ability. But if you would ask me, I think I'll take the portable power bank over the megaphone. And then unlike the Beats, notice right here, we do have an EQ setting, and you could customize all these to your own personal preference, as well as create some custom profiles too. But unfortunately, from everything I've done, I still think that the Beats pills sound better regardless on the EQ setting. I tried making the UE Boom sound better. It doesn't seem like it's possible, as you're going to find out in the sound test. Now the Beats, even though they sound fantastic, There's no EQ setting customization abilities whatsoever. So just giving the heads up, but again, the standard EQ that Beats designers decided to tune for these sound incredible to the point where they really don't need it, regardless on the genre of song you're listening to. But the thing I don't like about the Beats is there's no USB-C cover right here, unfortunately. Unlike the UE booms, they have this like nice little flaps. But it's not the end of the world because I know Amazon sells like cheap USB-C covers, so you can actually cover this if you really want to. But I've exposed these to mud, sand, and it still managed to receive charge just fine. And then when it comes to overall delivering sound experience, the UE Boom design works extremely well in an outdoor environment because it has a whole 360 capsule design look, which means regardless on which way the speaker is facing, sound is always able to be bounced off walls or cover full 360 rooms, even outdoor environments just fine. The Beats, personally, these are more for indoor use because the design, if we lay this down, notice how the B logo is kind of like upwards. That's on purpose because just like a soundbar, this uses the ceiling to bounce the sound around the entire room. And if you tilt it back even more, it has a nice little balance, so you can aggressively point it towards the ceiling so everybody in that same room that this speaker is playing in will easily be fulfilled with the audio. But outdoors, there's no ceiling, so I have noticed that I want to say this fills up the area much better than this, especially if you're like around a picnic table or something like that. But regardless, if I only had one, these will still perform pretty good in an outdoor environment, but this definitely performs better if outdoors is your primary goal. So I'll be using a reader, using the decibel level. Now let's do the sound comparison. I will be using a decibel reader, see which one of these two speakers are the loudest, and the microphone that we'll be using is a DJI mic 2nd generation mic, which is well respected in the industry. No, it's not a $20,000 microphone like the ones that Linus Tech Tip has, but at the end of the day, regardless if we're using those expensive mics or those standard mics, it still will end up being compressed on YouTube aside to make it optimal for their storage, for their servers, their million terabytes of storage they have available on their YouTube servers and stuff to keep it all together. So this is going to be as close we could get, which is why I'll be using a decibel level. So you guys can also not just hear it, but also see the number of data in real time. So I am going to be playing both these two speakers at the same time by themselves. So we got the UE Boom as well as the Beats Studio Buds right here. I'm going to have one device paired to one and the other device will be paired to the Beats. So without further ado, let's get started. So soundtrack of choice we'll be using is Marshmello, and I do have license to Alone. And let's start off with the UE Boom at max audio. So I'm making this video and it's raw, so just give me a heads up. If you're wearing headphones, skip to this because it does get really loud or lower your audio. Same applies if you're watching this on a TV or loudspeakers, but if you want raw data, continue watching this. If not, skip to this because it does get loud. hard to really tell. So at max audio, I noticed the bass is more controllable on the UE Boom versus the Beats at the very beginning before the aggressive like high decibel levels. The Beats was sounding promising. I liked the tone of everything, but then as soon as it gets loud with the bass drop, the Beats just loses it. But it's still a winner for like the loudest speaker is probably the UE Boom, as that, if I recall, reached 107 decibels versus the Beats was struggling like a 104 right here still. Meanwhile, the Beats was like around 101 decibels. The UE Boom is just slightly louder, but the Beats overall, in my opinion, sound pretty good. But now let's see how they will sound like when they're in their pair mode. So for this, I'm gonna have to separate the two and actually have both of them compete against each other. So let's pair these two and start the test. Here we go. Let's see how loud it could get. I don't know why I turned it off, but it reached 109 decibels dual and my ears are feeling it. Let's bring out the UE Boom now. So that's something I noticed with the UE Boom, that the Bluetooth tends to do this for like the first few seconds. So I'm gonna restart it, just give it a fair chance. Okay, so slightly louder than the Beats by a little, because these actually reach 111 decibels. But as you saw earlier, the Bluetooth is not the greatest. That was annoying, and that is a common thing I noticed with just one of these by themselves after 1 week of testing them, that the Bluetooth is not really reliable. So pardon the construction in the background, it's pretty hot, so construction in my yard has been paused. I'm gonna go ahead and drop in shoulder height since it is proven or said to be durable than ever. Oh no. So you can definitely see where the impact point landed, right on the side. But so far, the grill, I'm shocked with surprise. I'm gonna drop it again, this time with the grill down. The dents are not as bad as I originally thought it was gonna be. I'm just gonna casually kick it off. Go again. This time I'm gonna try to go further. This thing hurts, by the way. All right, we got a gnarly dent right here. Want to see how it sounds like when it's in the water, and it still powers on after all that abuse. Get this thing out. Oh, yep, that's alive and well. Quite impressed. So we're performing the same test as we did with the Beats pills, and that was the about 5-foot drop test. I'm 5'8", so I'm gonna drop it within like shoulder length. So in 3, 2, 1. That actually sounded not good. Since it did land on the bottom, there is no noticeable damage aside from dirt marks and stuff from the concrete dirty floors. So far, so good. Just internally, that didn't sound good. Next test, same height from shoulder height. This time, grill facing downwards. 3, 2, 1. That also did not sound good. Again, this material is extremely durable and there's no impacts, dents, or scratches or anything that I can see. Actually, no, on second thought, we're still not done. I can't just forget about the football kick test. But instead of kicking it like last time, I really hurt myself that time. I'm just gonna like lightly like spin throw it, if that makes sense. So the camera position is facing this way so you can actually see the impact. And it's about 5 feet to 12 feet distance. I'm gonna go ahead and casually toss it like a football. Another toss, because that's what we did with the Beats Pills. Let's do it again. Again, I'm not gonna kick it because that was brutal. Oh, that one got distance. All right, we do have a couple of dings and dents on the silicone top portion, like right here. That got scratched pretty gnarly, but the grill itself, everything is perfectly fine. The fabric material did rip right here, it looks like, upon impact with the rocks. Now, as I stated before, anybody could perform a like water resistance test by spraying a little bit of water, maybe hosing it down with the garden hose. It's dropping it in like a full body of water, or something not crazy deep because I don't have access to a pool, but like a bucket of water, and just leave it there for a little bit while music is playing. So the Beats were able to survive these. The UE Boom has a floating ability, which is ideal for situation where you drop your Bluetooth speakers in something like this. Instead of having to swim down and grab it, with this marketing words, this was supposed to float up. All right, just like last time, playing marshmallows, and we're gonna drop this in the water. 3, 2, 1. It floats. Just upside down. We'll leave it down there for a good 5 minutes. Okay, the bucket's basing. The Beats also did that too, but it's not making as many bubbles as the Beats was. It's just casually floating up here. It's pretty funny. All right, it's been over 5 minutes. The song already repeated itself. It's only like a 4-minute, 30-second song. It sounds muffly. Oh, there we go. This is actually kind of fun. Oh, look at that. So yeah, it's not designed for this, but I do like the fact it just floats up. Super convenient just grabbing it. Yeah, survived water extremely well, and sound quality sounds exactly the same, just muffled with the water, of course. So this will definitely survive harder impacts, unlike the Beats did. It's already dented up and stuff like this. This only has minor scratches on top of the silicone. So after all that, the overall conclusion is I am really impressed with both of them, but obviously I'm primarily more impressed with the Beats. Not only are they as durable as the UE Boom, although they cannot handle abuse as much, but they're jam-packed useful features that I'm sure everybody will actually find useful. The capability of being a power bank, the capability to seamlessly just connect to an Android device by a simple tap instead of having going to your Bluetooth setting and all that stuff. Same applies with the iOS integrations, where this seamlessly just connects to one Apple device, automatically is already paired out on your other Apple devices. The stereo pairing is pretty cool too. Both of these two devices support that, obviously. But the only unique feature that the UE Boom has over the Beats is the megaphone, but that's weird. I mean, personally, I don't see myself using that. But both do have a built-in microphone, which sound acceptable. But in overall sound quality, the Beats beats it. Even though the UE Boom does have its EQ setting personalization, this doesn't. But the default ones, as well as even adjusting it, I'm having a hard time making it sound better than the Beats Pills do. So based off everything you witnessed in today's video, I'm sure you're better educated on which one you really want to pull the plug on. For outdoor hiking, stuff like that, I'm still going to take this. It's proven to be able to handle abuse a lot better. It still looks fine. Even though we kicked it, we tossed it, it only has a few battle marks compared to the Beats Pills. This thing has character all over, especially the front grille. It's all dented up and scratched. But it's easily as durable as the UE Boom. So there you guys have it. Hopefully you guys got the information you guys were looking for these two Bluetooth speakers. I know there's other amazing brands out there like the Sonys as well as the JBLs. So make sure you are subscribed for our part 2, and I'll go ahead and grab one of those and compare it against these two and see which one stands out and which one's worth your hard-earned money. As always, affiliate links and everything else will be in the description down below. If you're planning on picking one up, please use the affiliate links in the description. They don't cost you anything. They just send a small kickback to the channel, allowing me to continue producing videos just like this. Because after all, these are non-sponsored. There's no NDA, no agreement with the third-party brand, no agreement with another brand. And I like to keep it that way. This way I don't have to push a draft to them and then allow them to request a couple edits and things they want to take out of the video. I like to give it to you guys raw as is, with all the goods and bads. Now, if you'd like to watch that dedicated video of the Beats pills, you can check it out right over there. But my name was Eddie, and thank you so much for watching.